So once again, for any newcomers, what we're going to start off by doing is, if you have any questions for Cherami, Leigh, or Amanda Miller, who will be joining us in about half an hour, there's a table over here with against the brick wall. You can write it down on a paper and bring it up to me, please. Thank you very much. We're going to start things off with some nostalgia for you and just talking a little bit about the series, so here we go.
I am the pretty guardian who fights for love and for courage. I am
everybody. Thank you for coming to the Sailor Moon Celebration panel. We actually have our special guests here a little bit early. Miss Cherami, Leigh, and Amanda Miller are just off to the side over there. Did you guys want to come up, or did you want to hang out there for a few minutes, or it's up to you? Okay, come on up. Give them a round of applause, everybody!
Hi guys.
Cherami's losing her voice, so if you can't hear her.
I'm the black lady. I'm the black lady version of Sailor Venus today. Yeah. I lost my voice a little bit yesterday, kind of like shouting over the panel, so I'm trying to rest it as much as possible since I'm working on Fairy Tale again next week. But I'll do the best I can.
Well, that's all right. We'll just change things up just a little bit here for you guys. So you have to leave a little bit early. Is that correct for today? Or 3:50? Okay, so let's do the Q&A session first, and then towards the end we'll do some more nostalgia. Or if you guys want, we can run a few videos during the panel to cut down on the talking that you guys have to do as well too. Maybe see what you guys know of Sailor Moon and stuff like that too. So it'll be like a little test for you. So I have these little dolls here for you, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Venus, of course. They're presents for you guys, so you get to keep them, of course. If you're losing your voice, I was going to ask if you guys would do like a little conversation between them, but if you can't, that's totally fine. I don't want to push too much. But welcome to Vancouver. I know it's towards the end, but...
Thank you. It's been awesome. It's like a beautiful, beautiful city.
It's so beautiful. We've had so much fun.
Oh, awesome. And it's I know it's not your first time here, Cherami. You were here before.
Yeah.
Was this your first time?
This is my first time in Vancouver. I've been in Canada before, but it was always like East Coast, like Toronto, Montreal. So this has been really, really nice.
Oh, awesome. And the weather's been actually pretty good too, which is nice.
It's gorgeous. Is it not always like this?
Well, I live in Kamloops, which is about 3 hours away. We had snow the other day, so...
I love snow, though. I live in LA. We just have fires and earthquakes.
Oh,
That's true.
well, we had fires too. Actually, this summer was pretty bad. We had like 5 seasons, so it was like summer was a little bit. We had a big smoke season, you know, that kind of stuff. So.
Smoke season.
Yes. So normally what I like to do is start with a little game, if you guys are up for it. Let me just turn up your mics just a tiny little bit. 1 second here.
Hello.
Is that better? Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a how many questions can you answer in 1 minute?
Oh,
so they'll be quick.
Okay.
Is it like each person, or is it together?
Each person.
Okay.
If that's okay, or do you want to do it together?
Should we be a team or we can play against?
Would you like us to be a team and I can answer for you?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
We'll be a team.
Or we could just do it with Amanda if you're okay with that.
If you know anything, you can say it. But
Okay, I'm going to get this on the clock just to see how you guys do here. And it just gets you in the mood for answering questions. So. Okay. So these will be yes or no, or just a quick answer sort of thing to see what you can do. And here we go. So, hawk's eye or tiger's eye?
Tiger's eye.
Yeah, good call.
Dogs, cats, or ferrets?
Cats.
Favorite season of Sailor Moon?
Stars.
S.
If you could voice another Sailor Moon character, who would you choose?
Uranus.
Chorizo.
J-pop or K-pop?
Oh, K-pop?
J-pop, just because she said the opposite.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars, I think.
Star Wars.
Okay. Venus's best attack?
Wing chain sword.
Okay.
Okay. Jupiter's best attack?
Ooh, what's the drink one? Cyclone.
Coconut cyclone.
Coconut cyclone.
Favorite Sailor Moon villain?
There was like a weird Katy Perry monster.
Katy Perry
with
candy
like
one is my
with like the
fave.
frosting. She like turned it was like in Sailor Moon R.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Natsu, Gray, or Kirito?
I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
That's
pick
okay.
That one.
No
What are
worries.
these words?
Oh, no worries.
Those
No
are
worries.
two guys
Okay.
in Fairy Tale and then Bryce.
We
So
get
it's Todd, Newt, or Bryce.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
Which one of those three? Todd, Newt, or Bryce?
The middle one?
Newton.
I don't know who Newton is.
Okay.
So no.
Okay, so Todd or Bryce?
They're all all taken, aren't they? Is that weird? What
Sure.
are we doing with them? Are we like kidnapping them? Or are we like?
No,
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could do like, what is it, Kill, Marry, Kiss? Yeah,
Sure, that's a version of it.
okay, yeah.
No, I'm not doing
Just
it.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It was just the characters, not the voice
I
actors.
was like,
Anything
man,
like
it's
that.
gonna get personal. They're gonna find out.
I had one more for you, just to see, because I know that you, when we talked the other day, you said you liked Aqua. What's your favorite Aqua song?
It's so silly. It's so angsty. There's an Aqua song that's called "Turn Back Time."
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like, you know, it's so like, it's so silly. But I like it. I love my
Aqua.
90s stuff.
How about you?
Aqua was amazing. So that whole Barbie Girl album was so fun.
So you can't say the song Barbie Girl. 'Cause that's
No, but it's the whole album.
album.
I thought was so fun.
I think that's fair.
I haven't listened to that in a long
Dr.
time.
Jones.
Oh yeah. Where's the other? Was it Bewitched? Was the band?
Yeah, say love you.
C'est la vie. That was fun. That was a fun time, the 90s.
All right. Well, thank you very much for doing that. So you feel all warmed up now to answer some questions and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is I've had people write down some questions for you, so I'll just read them off to you, and we'll go from there. So, question from Artemis for Amanda. There were several voiceovers in K-On! Plus a few in Squid Girl that were also in Sailor Moon. What was it like working off of them, especially your Megumi Sokabe character in K-On!
So what was it like working off of the other actors?
Yeah.
So unfortunately for dubbing, we're never with the other actors when we record. We're always in the booth. We're like in a padded room by ourselves. So we never really get to play off of each other, unfortunately, but I do get to see them at conventions, and that's always really fun. They become like family, so that's kind of cool.
We get to play off each other on panels. That's about it.
Exactly.
Okay. So this one's for you, Cherami. I noticed that you used the word pervert or perv in Sailor Moon Fairy Tale and Sergeant Frog.
Yeah.
Then there's the Sailor Moon Super S episode where Minako's trying to date two guys at the same time.
Sure.
What's up with that?
I haven't the slightest idea. I don't get to write the scripts. Most of the time I wrote a couple scripts for Fairy Tale. So yeah, it is very interesting that I always get cast as the characters who use that word all the time.
Like maybe like the prudish characters, maybe?
I don't know, or she just, maybe it's that she's very bold and brazen and she's gonna call the guys out on being a little too,
Fresh.
yeah. And dating two guys at the same time, I have no idea. The idea of that gives me so much anxiety, but it was one of my most favorite episodes to record, but I would never, ever, ever in my life do that. Just the idea of it stresses me out.
To be fair, if you're not exclusive, you can go on dates with multiple people.
But that's the thing, I would not ever. I just
I don't want to
can't.
schedule it.
Look, my idea of a really fun day on a Friday is to go home, watch an old movie, drink soup, maybe knit, and wear my pajamas. I am a 90-year-old woman. I'm not going to go out on two dates with two guys. I got to go home and hang out with my cats.
Also,
There you
I'm
go.
sure your husband wouldn't be very happy about it.
Yeah, he would not. He knows I would never do that.
He would be okay with you going on one date, not two.
I don't know. I don't know if he would.
So this kind of, well, something you said kind of goes into the next question. Are you cat people or dog people?
I'm a cat person.
I love all animals. When I was born, there were 10 cats in my house and 6 dogs. So I've always been surrounded by animals. But I currently have 2 cats at home, and I love them so dearly. So I guess I'm more of a cat person than a dog person.
I just like how cats don't need you. It's like you have to earn their love. Like if a cat comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, I'll let you pet me,"
Yeah.
you've earned it.
Yeah, you're the chosen
You've been
one.
chosen. You're worthy.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like,
All right.
I like emotionally unavailable animals.
Yeah, they're like, all right, you're okay. Yeah.
All right. Why did Makoto Kino fall in love with Haruka even though he or she has a girlfriend already?
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, like I've heard like different things where they're like, oh, she just admired her. Other people are like, yeah, she's a crush. But like, I mean, you've never had a crush on like a celebrity. All those celebrities, you're like, yeah, I know this person's with that person, but like in my dreams, they're mine.
Multiple celebrities.
Yeah, so like it's kind of the same thing where you're just like, oh, I admire them so much.
Yeah, you can admire their beauty.
I think it's bad if you act on it. Like if she's
Well,
trying
yeah,
to
that's
steal her
awkward.
away.
That's awkward.
I think it makes sense to be like, especially because I think there's a couple of years difference. So it's like that crush of like, you're what I want to be when I grow up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Although apparently it's only a 2 years difference.
I believe so, yeah. 'cause
Yeah,
they're in high
but think
school.
about it. When you're in like middle school and high school, 2 years difference is like
Right,
you're
like
so
you're
grown
oh,
up.
a fresh or like a freshman versus like a senior. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, you're so grown up.
I remember in first grade when the third graders came to read to us, I was like, they're so mature. They're in third grade.
Like they're paying taxes and everything.
Yeah. One day I'll be in third grade and I'll know everything. I didn't.
It'll peak from there. It'll just go downhill.
I
From
did
there.
love being 8. It was a good time.
Yeah. Now we have to adult, and it's
Gosh.
worst nightmare. So, how alike are you guys with your characters, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Venus? How would you rate like how similar you are?
I'm pretty close to Jupiter because when I was younger and I like watched like as a kid, I was like watching it on TV and Jupiter was my favorite because I was like this awkward 5th grader who was like, I went through puberty very quickly, so I was like a head and shoulders above everybody else.
Can't relate.
Yeah, I know. Cherami never went through puberty. She's still 5. But I was like 5'5" in like when I was like 10, and so I was just like, I'm awkward and tall, and I play soccer and hockey, and so I definitely kind of struggled with that. Like I'm a tomboy, but I also like Disney movies or Disney princesses and glitter. So Makoto, Sailor Jupiter kind of showed me that you can be both.
Yeah.
You can like to throw men like over your head, but also bake cakes.
Beautiful. For them after you throw
Yeah,
them
bake
out.
cakes to be like, I'm sorry, I threw you.
I think that Sailor Venus and I have a lot of things in common. I love the idea of love and being kind to everyone. So being the guardian of love is pretty cool. I also really enjoy pop culture, and I'm fascinated by celebrities, and I'm fascinated by their backstories. When I was like in high school, I loved every true Hollywood story in the world because I loved to see their struggle to get to where they are. Yeah. And I feel like she would totally be someone who watches TMZ and any sort of entertainment television. As far as her love life, I'm married, so I think I'm doing a little bit better in that aspect. But I do have a cat. I don't think that he can talk to me, but he does have a very, very tiny, high-pitched meow, and he does make it known when he would like to eat and when I should wake up and pet him. So he does have a way of communicating with me.
He talks to me.
Zemi talks to you? I love that little creature. I have Aries and Zemi. They're sweet little munchkins.
He wants you to change the food that you're giving him.
That is not true. He just wants to eat more salmon. Yeah,
I think every cat wants that.
that's true.
Yeah. All right. So for Amanda, from Sailor Jupiter over here in the front, we have. What was your favorite part in voicing Jupiter as a whole?
I mean, just the fact that like she was my favorite growing up, and then like 25 years later, like what are the odds of that?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Being able to voice her. But there were certain moments that were pretty cool that were like, I don't know if you guys remember in the original Deep Dub, there was the Snow White episode where they were like trying to like be like, well, I should be Snow White because I'm the smartest. I should be Snow White because I'm the prettiest. I should be Snow White because of this. And so in the original dub, she had said, I should be Snow White because I've got the most talent. And she like pointing at herself, and there was like a boing sound effect, and it didn't make sense at the time. But that's because of the Japanese. She was like, I should be,
The most voluptuous.
yeah. And so we got to actually say that in the Viz version, and that was really fun.
All right. So for both of you, have either of you ever watched the live-action Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon? Not the musicals, but the live-action.
I've seen a couple episodes.
I've seen 2 episodes.
And what did you think of them?
I thought it was fun.
It was fun, but my friend was like, no, it's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be like a soap opera. Like, it's supposed to be taken seriously. I'm like, the cat is a stuffed animal.
But that's why it's fun.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if it's meant to be like a comedy, I get that. But she's like, no, it's so dramatic, isn't it? And I'm like... I think the last
It's like
episode
a
I saw...
telenovela.
Yeah, where it's like heightened.
Yeah.
I think the last one I saw was like, there was like Makoto, I think was wearing some sort of like hip-hop basketball clothes.
Oh, this is everything.
I don't remember exactly. I was just like, okay.
I want to watch more and like figure out how we can like spoof it.
Just do like a Americanized
like-
version of
Yeah,
Guardian?
just
As
do
us?
like a couple scenes as like us.
Jeremy, just prepare yourself. I'm just telling you. I
Is it
won't
really?
spoil too much,
I'm
but just
so
prepare
excited.
yourself.
I've seen 2 episodes and I thought it was really fun to watch.
I'm excited
you
to watch
imagine?
Dark Mercury.
Yes,
Like
Dark Darkury as they call it.
Darkury.
Dark.
Daiquiri. Coconut cyclone, daiquiri.
That's actually what we should do in our version.
And Tuxedo Command gets a transformation as well.
Oh.
Tuxedo. Oh, Robbie will be so happy.
He's shirtless for like a second, and then he puts on the glove. It's really cheesy, but it's funny.
Is it impressive?
Not
It's
not
like a
as
flat
impressive.
chest, kind of. I mean,
He's a guy. But it's funny. It's funny that they actually did that. And Luna plays into it a little bit too. She replaces the Chibiusa character kind of.
Oh.
As essentially, that's the only spoiler I'll give to you. But
Okay.
you watch
they
it.
don't
it's
have a
fun.
daughter in the future.
They don't really talk about that. It's all the Queen Beryl arc, pretty much. So,
okay.
but it is kind of like a soap opera. It takes a really dark turn, but yeah.
That's kind of nice though that they're not tied together now by a future kid that makes them feel like they have to get
Right?
together. Now they can date, they can take their time, get to know each other.
Yeah. No,
No,
that's-
we'll just make sure they stay together.
yeah.
Sure.
So when you were dubbing Sailor Moon, were you encouraged to stick with the acting choices of the Japanese cast, or were you given room for your own personal interpretations of the characters?
So I watched the original dub, the Canadian dub, and I loved it growing up. So obviously because I had watched that growing up, that influenced my take on Sailor Venus. And we reference every episode in the Japanese version before we record. So that's obviously going to influence how I understand what's going on in the scene. So once I have those 2 references in my head, when we auditioned, I auditioned for Sailor Moon, and the Japanese creator heard all of our voices and would say, this is who this character is going to be. So she heard my Sailor Moon audition, and she's like, that's Sailor Venus. And so from then on, they said, your natural take on this character is what the creator wants for Sailor Venus. So it kind of empowered me to take the references that I grew up with and then create my own version as like a united form of their influences on me and their inspiration that they brought to me to the character.
Awesome. And Amanda?
Yeah, they didn't make us like try to. They weren't married to any particular read or whatever, but they were like make it your own. But yeah, I mean it was kind of like you said. Like I think the casting director was really great because he kind of cast us all. We kind of naturally are those things. Like I naturally kind of am more of like a tomboyish, girly girl. Like it's just like we all kind of fell into that. And yeah, I think learning that the creator of the show heard us and was like, this is Jupiter, this is so-and-so, like made me realize like, okay, like whatever I'm bringing is good enough. Like that is the essence of the character.
Wonderful. Have either of you met Naoko Takeuchi, the creator?
No.
Oh my gosh, I would lose my mind.
Does she come to like North America? Or does she
From what I understand, she's kind of doesn't. She gets kind of scared of that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say, if I ever get to go to Japan and they're open to letting me meet her, I mean, I don't speak Japanese, but I'll learn.
Yeah, I would learn
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I've heard that the mangaka, like in general, like the writers and stuff, they're very, very shy. Yeah, so unlike here where everybody's like, hey, how's it going?
Right, like, look at this thing I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to meet her.
Well, and Sailor Moon is just, it's such like a huge, iconic show. And to know that she is the creator, it all came from her, it all came from her mind is kind of overwhelming. So to meet her, I don't know how I would
It's
respond.
crazy that she created an empire that's like literally not just our childhoods, but not the childhoods of people growing up. Like it's
It
multiple
changed and
generations.
empowered so many generations of women. It's kind of insane.
100%. Yeah, and there's so many different iterations of it. Like, have you seen the musicals?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. That's my favorite part of it, honestly. I absolutely love them. And I talked to you the other day, and I actually found that clip. If you want to watch it in a few minutes here, the Queen Beryl and Galaxia working together
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Have fun.
But I do have one thing I want to play. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but I came across this accidentally, and I just want to see reactions for people. So just one second.
There's Sagittarius, Libra, the constellation of the Newport Fusion. I just love it so much. The sculpted exterior, the newly redesigned grill and wheels. It's the most stylish car I've features like pre-collision assist with pedestrian detection and adaptive cruise control with stop and go. They can help make driving less stressful. A lightning blue one would match my uniform perfectly. Oh, I'm even old enough to drive. Just a minute. This is unbelievable. You haven't heard of Enhanced Active Park Assist? It can help you find a parking spot and steer into it. So smart.
It's the coolest available feature in the new 2017 Ford Fusion.
Such power and without a silver crystal. We are the pretty guardians who fight for love and for vehicle technology. And in the name of the 2017 Ford Fusion, we'll persuade you.
So, how did that come about?
I don't even remember. I just know my agent
Yeah, our
called.
agents were like, hey, you're doing a
You're
commercial.
doing a commercial for Ford Fusion, and I said I don't remember auditioning for it, and they said you didn't. They just want Sailor Venus.
Wow.
And so we went in. I think we went in on the same day. Like Christina was finishing up, and then Amanda and I went in and recorded after you. And they gave us the scripts. We walked in. I was amazed at how well they scripted it to fit the flaps.
Mine didn't. Did you see mine?
Really?
My line kept going like 3 flaps after my mouth was closed.
I thought it was a really fun experience, and I had friends that were like messaging me going, so do you drive a Ford Fusion? And I was like,
That'd be awesome.
no.
They should have given us a Ford Fusion.
In
Yeah.
our colors.
That'd be
I would
cool.
have rocked an orange Ford Fusion.
They didn't offer you Ford?
They did
Really?
I had a thought.
Can you imagine if our license plates said like Venus, Jupiter, Mars? So fun.
Wonderful. I just had to ask because I found that and I'm like, I'm going to ask him about this because it's amazing.
Well, they had a whole Ford had like a whole. I think they were trying to appeal to like the millennial nostalgia
Yeah.
crowd because they had a bunch of spots. Like they had Captain Planet. They had like all these different ones, and
They
they
had
were like
DBZ.
Yep,
like
I saw that
DBZ.
one.
They had like all these different ones like to try and like appeal to that.
See, the Dragon Ball one, it was it was cheesy, but it was funny too because of course you have Gohan and Trunks and then fusion and turn into a Ford Fusion.
Oh my god.
It was cheesy, but that's amazing. I'm just wondering how they got the rights to do. I think they must have talked to Toei or to Mel.
I'm sure, or maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
Maybe it's a blanket license with Biz or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I know Japan's really protective of it, so I am curious how they got the rights to that.
But it's another fun, what I call the oddities of the Sailor Moon universe. You guys know that there's a fan-made My Little Pony meets Sailor Moon episode out there? No? Do you want to see a tiny little clip of it?
Sure.
All right. Sorry, let me just find it here. I have way too many files on here. There it is. Sorry, one second.
Not while I'm around. Moon spiral hard attack!
Anyway, yeah, so that exists. And now, are you guys aware of what Sailor Moon almost became in North America before Deep got the rights to it?
Yeah, was it like Saban Moon or something like that?
Yeah,
There was like a-
two makers, division of it. Have you ever seen the footage from the convention that showed the...
I saw. Was it the one with like the girl in the wheelchair dancing?
Yeah. Sailor, Sailor.
Have you seen it, Cherami?
I think so. But there's a live action something,
Yeah, it was like
wasn't
a live action. Was it like a pitch video? Like they
Yes.
never made it, but it was like their pitch for it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was...
because it's supposed to be sort of like a female Power Rangers kind of a thing. but it's
Exactly,
Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
exactly. Kind of Saban's thing. Every time I do a Sailor Moon panel, I show it, just
Okay.
because some people are completely flabbergasted that
It's
this...
incredible.
It's
And
so funny.
It's the only footage that exists because it was shown in a convention setting kind of like this, and it never made it past that. But from it, we got toys that you may remember if you're 90s kids and stuff. They actually had the windsurfers that you'll see in it. And yeah, exactly. And also the Deke logo for Sailor Moon came from that one. They used that, so you'll see at the end. So I'll play it really quick here. It is amazingly amazing. And sorry about the quality. Again, this is the only one that exists, so... very 90s, as you can tell.
None of them are 15. 35.
It's got that blossom feeling to it. So if you have those toys at home unopened, they might be worth something.
I mean, we laugh, but I would have watched the crap out of that.
Oh, I
love
would've
it. I
too.
really do. I think it's
90s were
cute.
awesome.
So you mentioned earlier finding a way to parody or do the live action thing. Well, there you go.
Yeah, we could so do that, like with the 90s after school special music. That'd be so fun. The hats are a must. I wore a hat like that in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, really?
I was Amelia the diabetic, and I had a hat just like that. It was like reversible.
I just had a question jump in my head, and it's not Sailor Moon related, but I have to ask. I've been wanting to for a while. I watched Shane Dawson on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's a great YouTuber. You were in at least one of the horror things that he did. And
Yeah.
I was watching it, and I'm like, I know her. And I saw the credits. I'm like, that's Cherami Leigh. What was it like working with him?
So I met Shane when I auditioned for his film Not Cool.
Yep.
And so we filmed that in Pittsburgh while we worked on The Chair, and we became really good friends. And so when his book came out, I Hate My Selfie, he wanted to do a short film, and so he asked me to be a part of that and reenacts like his high school life. And then we went back, and for the newer book, It Gets Worse, we did the horror movie. So he's a really good friend of mine. We have the exact same birthday, same day, same year, same everything.
Awesome.
And we're really good friends. He's such a talented guy. Really, really genuine, very compassionate, very generous friend. And he just likes to work with his friends, and we have a great time, and we get to hang out. And I was amazed. I worked with Joey Graceffa on the second short that we did. And Joey's a huge anime fan, which I thought was so weird because I love their content. And so then to know that they're aware of anime and they love what we do is pretty fun.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I was watching it, and just right there, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So
That Jake Paul series is addicting.
I know, right?
Yes, I just can't.
For those of you that don't know, Shane Dawson's been doing some documentary stuff, and he's covering Jake Paul right now, and it's really informative, so it's really good watch. So, but yeah, you can find. What was the name of that the horror thing again, just so people can find you in it?
I think it's called It Gets Worse. I think that's
I think that's right.
That's the name of the short. And then the other one, it's more of a comedy, I guess. I Hate My Selfie. And then if you want to see the full-length feature that he wrote, it's very crazy, American Pie, very over the top. It's called Not Cool. And I think it's still on Netflix. My disclaimer is that there is no nudity for me in that movie. I had a double.
Do either of you have YouTube channels that you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm definitely planning on putting a lot more on it. I have a bunch of sketches I've written. I just haven't filmed them yet.
Oh, awesome.
But I have just Amanda Celine Miller comedy. Just kind of Google that. And then I also have Ghosts and Stuff Inc.
Oh.
Which is like a web series I made and wrote, and I'm in. It's basically like Parks and Rec meets like Scooby-Doo, kind of like a mockumentary comedy about like ghost hunters. But the thing is, it's called Ghosts and Stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's about ghosts and other stuff.
stuff, yeah.
So the ghosts are like secondary. So, but yeah, I'm really proud of it. So
It's really well produced.
she's in an episode that I still haven't edited yet, but she's great.
It was very fun. I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't post a lot of things on my YouTube channel. I have a series on Anime Unlocked that we did for over a year and a half, and I might be doing more episodes called Love and Light, which is a daily positivity show. And then I produced a web series with my husband called Confessionals. So C-O-N Confessionals on YouTube, and it is a behind-the-scenes look, kind of like a mockumentary of voice actors, fake voice actors, played by real voice actors. So we got to act on camera, and my character is a horrible human being, but it was very fun.
All right. So back to Sailor Moon then. What attracted you to the series in general, and what was your favorite thing absolutely about the whole series?
I like all the glitter. Transformations and the glitter nails.
Yeah, the changing of the nail polish is like very cool for me. But I really do, I love the environment of women being supportive of each other and having this great, they're friends, yes, they'll have disagreements, but ultimately they're friends first, they want to save the world. They're all very unique, they're all very different. And being a part of the show, I feel like it's probably the closest of any of the voice casts that I've been a part of, because we get to go to so many conventions together that we've had watching parties together. And if ever there's a Sailor Moon movie, we're always like, guys, do you want to go, or do you want to hang out? And it's a very supportive community, just like the Sisterhood of the Guardians. It's nice to get to be a part of it, and the voice actors we're like a family as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you meant like what attracted to us as kids. I was like, when I was a kid, I just remember being like, it's so pretty, and they have glitter, and they're transforming. And
The colors are great.
But yeah, now it's definitely just the fact that it stands the test of time. Like the fact that like we still need examples of females who like aren't cutting each other down and like in the media. You know, like it's just like they're supportive of each other. They don't need. They want boyfriends. They don't need them.
That's very true.
They can still save the world on their own.
I don't know if they know that they don't need them just yet, although they are teenagers, so that's fair.
And, you know, they get to be the ones to rescue Tuxedo Command every once in a while.
Right. Although he needs to just stop getting himself kidnapped, or they just need to let him stay kidnapped so he'll learn, because they're enabling him.
Right, exactly.
If you keep getting kidnapped and we keep saving you, you're going to keep getting kidnapped and you're never going to...
I feel like we're still going to keep saving people, regardless.
Maybe just not that guy.
Okay.
So, you've done the 3 movies. Which one was your personal favorite? I know, the hard questions, eh?
Especially because I'm like, the Super S movie, I think people like laugh at that one, but for some reason I liked the magical, like, kind of fairy pan flute things happening. I'm not using good words today.
I don't remember. Was it Erica that got to be the voice of all of the bonbons?
I think so.
Bonbon babies?
I think so. That was in Super S.
That was so funny. Yeah, I don't know which one was my favorite. Probably that one, the Super S movie. I had fun working on all of them.
The one thing about the Super S movie that I mean, I love all of them, of course. The thing that drove me nuts is how often they played Sanjina Yosei, or the 3 o'clock fairy song, over and over and over again. My personal favorite was the S movie with Luna's love story and getting to be a human. That was really nice. And with Crystal, at least with Super S, they have where you see Luna, Artemis, and Diana as humans. So I'm really hoping that we'll see that in the movie. Hopefully, I really hope we get the movies to come out. That's the other thing too.
I'm sure we will.
I will say my super athletic, like jock cousins that are in high school, middle school and high school, they did go see the very first movie in theaters.
Wow.
So I was like, that's a very special, that movie will hold a special place in my heart, that it got these major hockey players to go see a Sailor Moon movie and sit in the theater, and that they were excited about it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that kind of stuff. See, bringing families together.
Exactly.
Also, Mike Daniels and...
oh my God.
Several players on the Green Bay Packers
that
are
love
huge Sailor Moon fans. Well,
Yeah.
they like anime in general, so like they showed up to Comic-Con dressed as like Naruto characters, but they came to the Sailor Moon panel and they were in the audience and they were the loudest ones.
I lost my mind though. I've never been so unprofessional on a panel before. That's probably not true. But like I forgot everything that I was supposed to be doing and rushed to hug these NFL players because Green Bay Packers are my team. And that's really all I care about. And the fact that they love Sailor Moon, I was like, I need to hug you guys. You're so cool. And I bought their jersey and I went to go see them play at Lambeau Field and it was kind of the coolest thing ever.
I just will always remember these giant, like 6 foot plus, like I don't know, 6'4". I don't know how tall they are. They're
Screaming.
big dudes in the crowd. And they're like, because they were like hyping up the crowd, the host, and they were in the audience like, so the host was like, say 1, 2, 3, more glitter, and they were in the crowd like, more glitter.
It was awesome. It was so cool.
I love it. So Sailor Stars, of course, never been dubbed into English before. There's fan dubs and stuff
Sure.
out there. So how excited are you guys?
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because I know the least about Sailor Stars, and that's why I said it's my favorite, because it is the uncharted territory. And I know everybody is anticipating it, and I'm anticipating it as well. It's been very fun.
It's really cool because when I was a kid, so like I grew up all over, and when I first saw Sailor Moon when I lived in Germany, so I didn't actually know what they were saying all the time. And in Germany, and they do have a dub of Stars in German. So I was seeing it on TV, but I didn't fully understand what was happening. So I'm actually excited to be able to get to watch it in a way that I fully understand now. Yeah, it's just also so cool because I remember as a kid being like, man, that season will never be dubbed. And so now it's just so funny that I'm like, I guess I'm making it happen.
So are you familiar with the Super Moonies then in Germany? They were the ones that did all the theme songs and stuff, right?
Wait, like the Zauber?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love the Sailor Moon. I love the Sailor Moon music from the original dub, but the German Sailor Moon music is like you could rock out to that. It's like techno. Like,
Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh, it's amazing.
I haven't heard it.
like it's,
I don't have it with me. I wish I
look
did.
it up on YouTube. Just like
Watching
German
this
Sailor
today.
Moon opening, and there's one that's like really like dark techno. Like it's just crazy. It's very German.
There's
but it's awesome.
three albums. I
Which
think.
one is your favorite?
I don't remember. It's like I don't even remember the names. I think it's like Das Mädchen, the something Zauberkraft.
My favorite
Okay.
is Schnee Princess and Kaguya.
I've only heard the openings. I haven't heard the whole album, so I'll check those out.
Yeah, they have character songs.
German.
Venus gets one and Mercury gets one. I haven't heard one for Jupiter or Mars, unfortunately.
I would love that if we did a character songs album in English.
Yes.
That'd be really fun. I don't think they trust us enough to sing well.
I mean, I got to sing a little bit in the most recent season, and it was hilarious. Because it's when she's like wants to be an idol
Oh, yes. Okay.
to try to impress people, as she always does.
What was the song that you did? I
I
don't.
can't even remember, but she does this concert, and all the girls are like, "Oh my gosh, what is wrong with her?"
Well-
She's like, "Guys, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be famous."
Venus is wonderful. They're both wonderful. I want to play that clip for you really quick, the musical one, if you're interested. So in the Sailor Moon musicals, they did, and my personal favorite one, they have Queen Beryl from the first arc work with Sailor Galaxia in the last arc, and it was absolutely inspired. So I'll play it really quick here for you. If you're not familiar with the musicals, this will give you kind of an idea of what it's like, but here we go. my favorite thing about that musical is it gives Queen Beryl redemption. In the end, her story, like, she was revived by Galaxia basically to take care of the Sailor Senshi and stuff, and she gives Queen Beryl Prince Endymion. She takes the Starseed course at the beginning, and then gives him to Queen Beryl. So they're kind of, but it's not actually him. It's like just his life force and stuff. In the end, she protects Sailor Moon and dies for it. But it's kind of like a redemption.
Wow.
And which musical is this? What's the name of it?
It's called Aen Densetsu, and it means forever legend.
Okay.
And it was the fifth one that they did. It was like a Stars-based one, kind of after the fact, but it was amazing, and it's definitely my personal favorite of them.
Nice.
The musicals have been going on still. Like, they finished in 2005, and then they came back in 2013 with an all-female cast completely. And so they finished Sailor Stars last year. They had it in theaters in North America.
I think I saw that one.
And then it took a break for this year, and now there's a female idol group called Nogizaka 46 that did a Queen Beryl-based one.
Oh, cool.
And it's very glittery.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a very short clip if you want to see that one very quick.
Sure.
Okay. This shows Sailor Moon's transformation, which is actually pretty neat how they do it.
わからないわよ。まださ、何の？何？この気持ち悪いの。怖い。うさぎちゃん、変身するのよ。変身でしょ。
Yeah, they do Luna like Avenue Q style.
That's awesome.
プリズムパワー、メイクアップ。ムーンプリズムパワー、メイクアップ。
That was a quick change.
彼女から離れなさい。弱い女の子をいじめるなんて許せない。ダメ。
So this is the only musical that ever featured Naru-chan and Umino in it as well. But at the very end, they actually do Moonlight Densetsu, of course, with the cast. And the girl that played Sailor Pluto in the musicals before is now Tuxedo Kamen, which is amazing. And this is Last Soldier, which was the theme song of the musicals. And you may recognize it from the battle sequence with the Doom Panther in art. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, just a taste of the musicals for you guys. I don't want to bore you too much, but if you ever get a chance to check them out, if you're a fan of theater, it's amazing.
They're so.
All right. What else can we talk about here? We talked about the live action a little bit, about the musicals and so on. Do you have any fun little anecdotes about just general like episodes that you enjoyed doing the most, or funny moments, or?
I wish we got to record together more. There was one episode that we did recently that was one of my favorites where you and I fall in love with the teacher. And then we find out about the kid who's like a horrible child, and then there's the teddy bear. I don't want to like spoil anything, but there's the teddy bear that gets ripped, and like you're like furious with me, and then we end up saying like, no guy is worth destroying our friendship. And then we realize like, no, that guy was too old anyway. Yeah. That was a fun episode to record. We've gotten to travel a lot to a bunch of different cities and do fun. We went to Disney World together and got stuck on a tram and got to ride a lot of rides together. And we got to ride one ride together. And Stephanie Shea turned Sailor Moon on us. It was very inspiring.
Awesome. And are you aware of the fandom online, like Facebook and stuff? Like there's a group called Bishoto Senshi 365, and stuff like that on like Pretty Guardians. Do you guys ever follow any of those Facebook groups or anything?
I haven't. I mean, I think we've met a couple of people, but we haven't followed any of the groups online. It's not because I don't want to follow them. I'm just not fully aware of everything.
Okay. Makes sense.
I would love to support them. Anybody that's being like positive or supportive of the show online, I totally appreciate and I'm so grateful for. Just because I spend not a lot of time online, just because it's sometimes a very aggressive, violent place to be. So we get to promote the shows and talk to people occasionally, but I haven't really looked to try to find the groups because I'm sure I'd find some really not so nice stuff also.
And Sailor Moon's supposed to be a positive thing in here.
Absolutely,
100%.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
I have a
you.
little bit of another present for you guys.
Oh.
Some Canadian chocolates, if you
my
guys would like to
gosh.
try. Because I don't think you have Aero Smart, like our Smarties or Coffee Crisp down in...
I've had Smarties before, but I don't know if maybe that's because maybe that was when I was a kid, maybe in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'll give
in
you
Europe,
some.
I haven't
Got
seen
you.
Big
them.
flat M&M kind of
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
And would you, I know your voice is going, would you do a Sailor Jupiter attack name, perhaps? Or yeah, that would be great.
Coconut cyclone.
the weird one. Jupiter Coconut Cyclone!
Did you want to try one? Or, oh, sorry.
Sure. It's like, I don't know, it sounds like the most delicious mixed drink I've ever heard.
I know you totally want one of those.
These are for you.
Oh my god.
So give them a try, see what you think. You don't have to try them right now, obviously.
Oh my
but,
gosh.
just a little remember. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Did you get to try Timbits or poutine while you were up here?
I've had both before. I think it's funny because people get really mad up here when I call them donut holes.
The Timbits.
Because in America, they're donut holes.
I had someone in Detroit because there's a Tim Hortons either like on the border or somewhere in Detroit. I had mentioned that I love Timbits, and so they rushed out to this convention in Detroit and brought me a box of Timbits. I was like, you did not need to do that, but this is greatly appreciated.
Amazing.
And I think before I leave, I'll have to get the maple pecan Danish. So good. Maybe you have to get one too. It's really good.
You don't own me.
I mean, I can gently persuade you.
That's
It's
true.
like-
It doesn't
it's
take
like-
me very. It doesn't. You don't.
In
you
the
don't have to push
name
me
of
very
the
hard
moon.
for food.
We'll persuade you
It's
to
like
eat
Jupiter.
the maple pecan Danish and buy a Ford Fusion.
We just sold out at this point. We'll just promote anything.
It's like Jupiter and Venus bantering right in front of us right here.
All
So
the time.
thank you so much for joining
Thank
us. Please
you.
give them a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you for putting together such a fun.